Did you know that there is a close connection between microbes and humans? And experts actually believe that about half of all human DNA originated from viruses that infected and embedded their nucleic acid in ancestors' egg and sperm cells. Hi everyone, Yvette Rose here, founder of Metaphysical Anatomy Technique, which is a gentle, graceful healing technique that is designed to help you to shift and move anxiety, depression, trauma from your past, fear, self-sabotage, and also secondary gains, wherever it is that you're finding yourself stuck in your life. And what I absolutely love about this technique is that you don't have to talk about the trauma, you don't need to know the root causes of it, and you also don't need to know any specific memories relating to what it is that you're trying to work on. Now, welcome to today's topic, which I'm going to be talking about the flu. And this is a really interesting topic, actually, because this is something that we all have experienced. This is something that has affected us all at some point, at some time in our life. Some get it more often than others as well. And that was quite a funny and quite true introduction that I made there as well, because viruses and bacteria play a very big, tremendously role in terms of how we also develop. But now there's also different types of viruses as well. And when we look at the influenza virus, for example, this can cause infections now in our respiratory tract, also in our nose, our throat, and also our lungs. And this virus is normally inhaled or transmitted, and then perhaps even through touch, it can be transmitted through that as well. And then it moves to the mucous membranes of the mouth and the nose and the eyes. And then it normally starts to travel down to the respiratory tract and then binds to the epithelial cells lining the lung airways via specific molecules on the cell surface. Now, once inside the cells, the virus actually hijacks the protein manufacturing, almost like type of machinery of the cell to generate its own viral proteins and then to create more viral particles. And now, once mature viral particles are actually now being produced, they are then released from the cell and then can go on to and invade adjacent cells as well. Now, the initial immune response, of course, now involves cells of the body's innate immune system, such as now the macrophages and also the neutrophils. And these cells express receptors that are able to sense the presence of the virus. They then, for example, would now ring the alarm bell by producing small hormone-like molecules called cytokines, and now also chemokines. And these alert the body that an infection is now established. Now, as with most things in life, I'm a very strong and firm believer, for most of you who are familiar with my research, I love to talk about and connect to emotional stress that can greatly contribute to certain ailments from surfacing. Because when we now look at our energetic structure and our emotional structure, it plays a very big role in terms of how our biological structure also shows up. If you have a lot of pain, if you have a lot of stress, sometimes you have a headache, sometimes you just feel really nauseous, sometimes your adrenals just burn out because you're so busy, you don't stop. But now when we all look at this is all just symptoms. That can be an example saying, well, where's your boundaries? Why don't you have boundaries with yourself? Why don't you have boundaries with your environment? So there's a massive, huge emotional component that plays a tremendously big role with that as well. And now when we look at, for example, now here with this condition that we have, we're looking at there's something in your life that energetically feels very misaligned to you. And normally this could potentially be maybe someone that's close to you. Maybe it's someone that is not even that you don't even know that well, but their energetic structure could have been very overwhelming to you, very intimidating to you, or it could have actually reminded the body of prior circumstances that was very perhaps abusive or very overwhelming. And then the body biochemically reacts to these old subconscious explicit memories. And now the body is reliving that, even though you're not consciously perhaps even aware of it. But now the body is fighting this internal battle where it's feeling really exhausted, it's feeling really tired. And now on top of that, because of the subconscious memories that's now being triggered by environment. And then to add to that is perhaps how you're feeling in that present moment as well, in relationship to someone or certain circumstances that you just don't necessarily feel in alignment with, or you can't quite emotionally digest or interpret this person or these circumstances, or know and understand where and how to place yourself within these dynamics. Now, this is also, for example, when you look at, you might be feeling, there's another aspect actually coming in here as well. You could also be feeling very much controlled or very suppressed. It's almost like what I would say, you feel like you're under someone's thumb. And you might be feeling very controlled and trapped in your life. And this feeling of control and entrapment is because you're sitting in circumstances that you don't feel happy with, but you're starting to tolerate it. But now you have tolerated this to your absolute detriment. And there's a part of you that might also have noticed that because you're not happy with your current circumstances, that you're focusing way, 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 way too much on the future. It's almost like there's this part of you that's living in the future. When I get out of this, I will have this. When I have that, then I will finally be happy. When I have this, then I will finally feel my freedom. Completely pulling you out of the present moment, which of course now means that your ability to relate and to connect in the present moment is decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. Because that energy is now in the future. You're not investing that in the present moment. And there's also another really strong aspect coming forward here, and see if you can relate to this. You have, or potentially might have, a very strong resistance to change. And the reason being is there's a fear of consequences, and especially consequences that you cannot control. So now in deep down, when we really look at the root causes of this, your need to be in control is now being challenged, very greatly challenged by someone or your circumstances, maybe your environment, and it's causing a tremendously big toll on your body. So now what's also happening is that this is situation, wherever it is that you're finding yourself, is having a tremendously big impact, a negative effect on your ability to make progress in your life, because you are resisting moving forward, because deep down, you might be resisting change. But here, what this condition is telling you, that change is needed and that you can be in control of change with discernment, but with ease and with grace. So there you have it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed that. Stay connected, subscribe, keep asking your great questions. Find out so much more at YvetteRose.com. And until next time, be the light that you are. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm sure that you learned a lot. So guys, subscribe to my channel here and also hit the notifications bar, and so that you can get notified every time when I upload a new video. So guys, also remember to share the video and also look out for courses that I have below in the description bar. And until next time, be the light that you are.